You're watching Brazos Valley This Morning on KBTX News 3.
It was an unforgettable tragedy, the crash on I-70 on April 25, 2019. 4 lives lost, 4 families left without a loved one, many others injured. It's important to keep them in mind as we talk about the sentencing of Aguilera-Mederos, the inexperienced truck driver behind that tragedy. He was handed 110 years in prison.
Once you have 23 felonies with mandatory minimums that are served consecutively, that can quickly add up.
DU law professor Ian Farrell says Colorado has mandatory minimum rules and sentence enhancers that are more extreme than other states.
No discretion on a minimum sentence.
I think that this length of sentence for this particular defendant is vastly disproportionate.
That sentence inspired a Change.org petition that's garnered more than 3.1 million signatures. On social media,
shut down city.
A call for truckers to boycott Colorado until Aguilera-Mederos is released or the law is changed.
I'm not seeing really anything that's showing up so much in that boycott.
That's Greg Fulton from the Colorado Motor Carriers Association. They spent a lot of time this week trying to clear up misinformation.
The petition which was out there seems to indicate that he was not responsible for this. And unfortunately, the facts don't seem to support that.
Instead, he says it was the driver's fault that the brakes overheated. He also doesn't give credence to a video that's quickly being reshared on social media of an alleged boycott.
It looked like it may have been from a different time.
He believes that's a highway closure. Fulton says 110 years seems too stiff, but the driver was at fault, so he doesn't think a pardon or commutation are appropriate.
I think it's important that, as an industry, we take responsibility.
Instead, maybe eventually, he says the sentence could be reevaluated. As for Farrell, he says some of Colorado's laws could, maybe even should, change.
To abolish the consecutive, or at least alter the consecutive sentencing rules.
But again, none of this makes what happened in 2019 any less of a tragedy for the people who died, the people affected, and even that truck driver.